Hi, my name is Grant Kramer, and I am a professor emeritus at the University of Nevada, Reno. Today, we are starting Season 3, Episode 2. Now, one of the first tasks after pruning my vines was to dig up some soil samples around my grapevines to send in to get a mineral analysis of my soil in preparation for this season so that we can prepare better for the mineral nutrient problems we may have this year. Or maybe I've corrected it well enough that I don't need to do very much this year. But we want to get a handle on this early in the season before flowering. But the next task after digging up the soil was to prepare for powdery mildew. It's early in the season, so today we will address the issue of powdery mildew.
So it's a sunny day this March 22nd, and I'm spraying sulfur today, but the reason for it is because our climate has been cool. It's the spring, the buds are just broken, and the spores from maybe last year that were sitting in those buds are carrying over for powdery mildew. And I'm concerned about that. The climate conditions are good here right now for powdery mildew growth. With temperatures in the high 60s and the low 70s, this is optimum, and we have a coastal marine layer, quite a bit of fog this morning. All of those conditions are going to contribute to the initiation of powdery mildew. Now, when I was in Nevada, I didn't spray for powdery mildew for about 5 years. I never saw any signs of it. And then one year, it just exploded out of nowhere. So it may be that in your new vineyard, you won't see much powdery mildew, but eventually it'll build up. It's said in Australia that they didn't have powdery mildew for 70 years, but eventually that powdery mildew started. It got carried over there somehow, probably on some grapevine material, and it spread, and now they have to treat for powdery mildew. So it's better to be proactive. Sulfur is a preventative as well as a contact fungicide. If the powdery mildew is way out of hand, it's not going to do a whole lot of good. The best time for treatment is now, in the spring, in the lag phase, when the growth is very limited and you can set it back so it doesn't get a foothold in your vines. The powdery mildew sits in those buds, but it also sits in the cracks of the wood, so I'll be spraying the wood as well as the leaves. And I will repeat this treatment every 10 days or so, depending on weather. Now, I happen to know that there's a rainstorm coming this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, and so I'm trying to be preventative there, as the moisture will contribute to its growth. And I'm going to spray again after that, just to make sure that we have this under control. Sulfur is an age-old treatment, and it's been used for hundreds of years, and it is a very effective treatment for powdery mildew, and no resistance has ever built up to it so far, and I'm not sure how it will. So while I don't have powdery mildew obviously showing right now, powdery mildew spores are carried over from last year in the buds, and are in the buds, and we have currently very good weather conditions for the growth of more powdery mildew, so we want to get a control on it. We do this early on because this is the most effective time to spray for powdery mildew. Sulfur inhibits the growth and is also a contact fungicide that will kill any spores that are out and about. If you recall, I use elemental sulfur, this fungicide here, plant fungicide, elemental sulfur, for control of powdery mildew, and I apply it at a rate of 1 to 3 tablespoons per gallon of sulfur. And in this case, I'm using an electric sprayer. It doesn't do as fine a spray as I would like, but it's what I have right now, and it does give me good coverage. I may need to change my spraying system in the future, but for now, this works well. I'm using a new head mount to try to keep my hands free so that I can show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Last time I was using the camera, my hands were too jittery and I only could do one hand by pruning and the other hand without. So we're going to take 3 tablespoons here, and I think we'll stop there for a moment because I really need a funnel here, not I can't really pour this in very easily, so I'm going to get a funnel. I'll be back. Okay, now we have a funnel. So we'll try to do this again. We'll get some sulfur. And this sulfur is not going to go down very easily because it's a narrow orifice here. So we're going to kind of tap it through. There's 1,
2,
3. So we're going to add a little water here. I'm going to clean out the funnel a little bit and get all the residue of the sulfur in here. And then we're going to fill up this container. Okay. Then we want this to be mixed up, so we got to put the
cap back on it. And yes, of course, I have lots of planes and cars going around, making plenty of noises around here.
We're going to shake it like so, very vigorously, because this sulfur is hard to get suspended in solution, and it will settle out quickly, so it'll need regular shaking before applying. So this opens up, and hopefully the batteries are charged on it. I haven't pre-tried it. And we'll give it a spray. And no, the batteries are dead. So we have to do a stop here and get some new batteries. I went off to Lowe's in search for a better sprayer. And as you can see here on their aisle, they range from $8 to $9 for that little electric sprayer I had, to up to $219 for an electric powered 3-gallon sprayer. So there's a wide range of sprayers to choose from. Okay, my first sprayer didn't work, and I bought a new one, and it didn't work, it leaked, so I bought a better quality sprayer here. It happens to be a Roundup sprayer, but I'm not using Roundup, I'm using Sulfur. And it has a good spray on it, which is a nice fine spray, as you can see. And I'm going to coat the entire vine all the way up and down to get full coating of my sulfur. And I'm just going to do that for every vine to make sure we get all the powdery mildew in the bark and in the buds and cracks, like so. That's it.
There are other kinds of controls for powdery mildew, but I will not be using them, I hope, this season, because I don't think my powdery mildew will be out of control. But there are alternative uses of other chemicals that can be controlling powdery mildew if necessary. But in my case, I think sulfur is going to do it for now. I'll keep you updated in the future. Thanks for putting up with my videos. This video was a bit of an experiment with the head mount. I'm not sure how well it worked. I'm obviously going to have to do more practice with it. So be patient, please. If you like this video, then please like it on my YouTube channel, as it'll give an opportunity for other people to view it. And I hope you'll check out some of my other videos on my backyard vineyard, on plant physiology, on enology, and winemaking. Have a great day.